Frank in Connecticut.
Hi, Frank.
You are on with Don and Jenna.
Oh, how you guys doing? Thank you.
Wonderful. What do you want to talk about today?
I wanted to, Matt and the guys on the show, a lot of times they talk about slavery in the Bible, how the God Yahweh, Jehovah, I am, whatever name he goes by, condoned slavery, which is true. But there was we'll use the word Christian, because that's the word that the church branded the followers of the Christ.
Okay.
The first group of Christians, we'll use that word, that according to records and things that they find that were hanging around with the Christ, were Gnostic. I guess we could use that word, Gnostic. And they believed that the Yahweh of that Old Testament was actually an impostor God, an evil God.
That's not my understanding. Is that Christianity grew out of Judaism, and they were Jews first and foremost, and then they started recruiting the Gentiles and got rid of the circumcision restriction and made it a wide open thing. But it was sprung very clearly out of Judaism, and Judaism didn't believe that what you say.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Hello?
Yes. So I was saying that Christianity is a derivative of Judaism and has a lot of tendrils back into Judaism, and the God of the Old Testament is the same for both religions.
But I'm just with the records that they find and the Gnostics, the church, when the church established, they did a pretty good purging of the so-called Gnostic followers of Christ, the ones that were, when Christ came, Christ was the true aspect of the true light, I guess, if you want to call it that, because the universe is what is it? Frequency, vibrations, light, and
there were a lot of Christian variants, and there was a purging of a lot of different variants at some point, and if they purge the wrong one, then it's really not the problem of atheism. It's it's kind of like the last call. It's like
right. I'm not saying that it is the problem.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
but
that
you said,
the
hold on,
Gnostics,
real quick. You said that Jesus came and he was the true what?
Okay, when Gnosticism, are you familiar with the Gnostic?
I'm familiar with the term, but I'm not an expert on early Christianity.
Those were supposedly the ones that were hanging around the Christ when he came. And
wait, so hold on. So how do you define agnostic?
Gnostic is what she's.
Oh, Gnostic. I'm sorry. How do you define Gnostic?
It's their belief. The belief is that the God of the Old Testament is an impostor. He's not the true God.
Wait, so
he's an impostor.
Somebody who calls himself a Gnostic believes that the God of the Old Testament is an impostor?
He's not the true God. He's an impostor.
There may have been this sect there, but they didn't win. So, generally history is written by the winners.
Of course, it always is. And then, so when the Christ came to free us from the prison that this fake God put us in.
Wait, how do you know this first, that there was a fake God and then a real God? How can you tell the difference?
Well, I'm just going by what I'm just trying to clarify why this God of the Old Testament would condone slavery, and where the Gnostic fits in. It fits in as that he's the fake God.
Wait.
So this is a rather elaborate way of trying to defend slavery, I think.
Right.
No, I'm not trying to defend slavery at all.
Wait, so are you saying, hold on, can I ask you a question just to make sure that I'm following you, because I don't think that I am. Are you saying that the reason that the Bible condones slavery is because that was a fake God, but now we have a real God that doesn't?
The true what happened? It's so in-depth.
Are you saying that?
Really read enough on a Gnostic. What happened was.
But Frank, are you saying that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes?
The Bible, the Old Testament God, is a fake God, not the real God. He's an impostor. He's evil.
Okay, so how do we know who the real God is?
And
how do we know who the real God is?
Now, when the Christ came...
Frank, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, we don't want to... We please answer Jenna's question.
Well, I guess we have to look within. We have to look within ourselves and raise our internal frequencies, our vibrations.
So what does that mean? How do we do that?
I think looking within ourselves, meditations.
So if I meditate, then I can find the real God?
Well, I mean, there's a possibility.
What if I meditate and I decide that slavery is a good idea?
Well,
I don't know. Well, how's that a good idea? I'm not saying it is.
This argument isn't terribly different than saying, oh, well, you just got to believe or take it on faith or whatever.
Well, but I think I'm following. I'm just trying to figure out, what are you finding within that I'm not? Because I do meditate and I don't find a God. But you're saying that if I can meditate and somehow tone my frequencies, I don't really know what that means. So I'm just wondering if you can clarify for me so that I can find this God. If you can tell me, how do I look within and use my frequencies to find whatever God that you believe is actually real versus the imposter God from the Old Testament?
I can't tell you that. That's
okay, so then why should I believe it? Like, if you can't prove it to me, then why should I believe anything that you're saying?
I'm not saying to believe it or not to believe it. I'm just giving a different variation of what a branch of Christians who supposedly...
Oh, okay. So we're trying to find out what the evidence for God is. Not just different ideas of... No, I'm trying to find out if you have any reason to believe that.
I mean, even the pentagram. Look at how ancient is that symbol of the pentagram?
But how is that relevant at all?
Well, I'm just saying, the early Christians used to use a pentagram.
But how is that relevant to the Old Testament versus the old fake God and the new God? I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, here's what happens. Listen, if when people think, the pentagram, what comes into their head right off the bat?
It depends on where you grew up and where you heard of it.
Well, for the most part, a lot of people, let's say in the Western Hemisphere, United States, it's been branded as something for witches. It's been branded as something for the devil.
Okay.
The word occult, when you hear the word occult, people think, occult just means hidden knowledge. It just means knowledge. I could hide a penny and I have hidden knowledge. I have occult knowledge.
Okay, so where are you going with this?
The the gentleman said before, history is written by the victors. So the church wanted their own symbols. They wanted their own way. They burned the Library of Alexandria, destroyed who knows how much knowledge, that if that knowledge was saved, we probably wouldn't be here having this conversation.
So if it was still true, though, don't you think we could find another way to find that knowledge? Another piece of evidence, something new, something that...
I think I think you're right. I think the knowledge is probably out there right in front of our faces, but it's hidden from us.
So why do you think it's in front of our faces if you also think it's hidden? Why do you even think it's there? That's what I'm wondering.
I think we have to really be able to discern from it, discern what it is. I personally believe that there's secret societies that probably have knowledge of a lot of things.
Maybe.
Keep hidden
Handshakes
from the
and
general.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they know some stuff. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Okay. But why should we believe in this imposter God is in the Bible, but you have a real God? Why should we believe? Do you think we should believe in the real God?
I believe that something. I'm not going to say what it is. What it's. I'm not going to put the word God on it. I'm not going to put the word father or mother, because I think that this force is neither. I think I can't explain what this force is, and nobody can. That's why we're here having these arguments.
So why do you believe it's there?
It's just something that I feel. I just, I look around and I say,
feelings and faith
smarter. There's always something bigger.
Yeah.
Feelings and faith are just a reliable way of being wrong, right? Because there's many more. You can take anything. You can take anything on faith. You can take anything. You can have a feeling about whatever.
Well, let me ask you a question then. So if you feel it and that's why you believe it, you're saying that's why you believe it is because you feel it, right?
I just, I'm a seeker.
Right. So do you feel it and that's why you believe it?
Do I feel it? I try to use just common sense. I mean, there's always something. I could go to the gym right now. Mm-hmm. No bullshit. I could throw 500 on the bench, no problem. Bing, bang, it's up. But there's guys on there that could do 600.
Okay.
I got a motorcycle that goes, I could get 120 miles, 100 miles, and there's guys like that.
Okay, so let's rewind just a little bit.
Well, there's always something greater. There's in the concept of things, there's always something higher on the ladder.
So what makes you so I agree. There's a possibility that there is something out there that we have no idea what it is. We have no way to detect it. We have no way to tell what it is. Now, I've learned about two things called dark matter and dark energy, and there's a lot we don't know about those two really big things that are out there, and we just don't know much. So how do you know it's not dark matter and dark energy that you feel, and instead you think it's a God?
Well, dark matter there's more dark matter than light matter. I mean, we're limited to what we can see, what we can feel.
So our take, Frank, is that the time to believe something is when there's sufficient evidence for it. We don't consider feelings to be sufficient evidence. And if you're believing in something,
the gut feeling, I don't know. I hear you, though. I understand what you're saying.
But people can feel really opposite things. I mean, I can feel that, Buddha's the real God. I can feel that Peter Pan's the real God. I can feel that Jesus is the real God. But what I'm trying to figure out is how do we tell the difference? What do we have to work with to actually prove that any of them exist?
I think that's an individual journey. That's an individual journey. Each one is different.
I think that's really sad that there's not like a concrete way to find out if there's a God. If I have to find it to end up in a heaven or a hell, or if this is the ultimate goal of my life is to serve this God or worship or believe in it or whatever you think I should do with this God, but I have to find it on my own. I can't learn from other people's experiences. I can't do what you did.
I don't know about serving it, because if this force, why would it need to be served?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you think it's real.
No, I mean, the God Jehovah, who's
why would it all powerful
why do you
being,
think it's there?
Why would God need a starship, right?
But I mean, exactly. So you're saying you don't understand, you don't know why I should think I should serve it. I'm saying I don't know why you believe it exists.
Do you believe it exists?
It's my feeling. I'm not. It's an inward. We're all seekers. We all seek the light in one way or another. We're all searching.
A foundational belief, perhaps, that atheists have is that there is a shared reality here, and we want to try to understand what it is and what's in it and how things work and these sorts of things. And we want to believe as many true things as possible and not believe, very important, as many not true things. Believe for the right reasons also. So we're kind of empiricists. We want to know, where's the beef here? Where is this God? How can we interact with it? How can we determine anything about it?
And should we?
It's fine to be a seeker, but that's not necessarily going to give you a true direction in life, because if you're if you're jumping on fads and what feels good, then you're just.
I understand that, but I don't jump on a fad. I mean,
how do you know this isn't a fad?
The Gnosticism, that's been around for those are the first.
Been dead for a long time.
Ones hanging around Christ. I mean, I don't know if you've ever.
Okay. There's a lot of old ideas out there that belong there.
There's a lot of old ideas, and so how do we know which ones are real? How can I tell the difference between someone like George Washington and Peter Pan looking back into history?
Well, I mean, it seems like you don't want to. I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that there was a branch of believers that supposedly were hanging around the man himself, if he was real, and Jesus never. Jesus was supposedly the Christ. Was the aspect of that true force, and that true force, supposedly, according to their beliefs, is inside of us. The problem is that it's been locked down because the false god Yahweh, the abomination Yahweh, does not want us to be free from the prison that we're in. It's like,
so how can we test that?
Yeah. You got an elaborate story here, and boy, it sounds like a good fiction.
Well,
it's nice, it's interesting, but how can we find out for real if that's actually how it is?
I think we have to. It's like, listen, if you have something that vibrates on a high frequency.
I don't know why you keep changing the subject when I ask you a question.
Well, no, it's going to relate to it. If it vibrates on a high enough frequency, eventually it'll disappear. We can't see it once it gets beyond our physical aspects of it. It's like taking the old car antennas,
right? I see.
Bend it real fast.
Right, you're saying that we just can't see it anymore. So that's fine, and that's great. I get that. But how do we? But why should I believe that there is actually something there if there isn't?
I'm not saying to believe. That's your journey. That's your journey.
Yeah. Okay.
That's your.
So you're saying it doesn't matter if I believe it?
It's your journey.
Does it matter if I believe it or not?
Does it matter?
Mm-hmm. Does it matter at all to anyone if I believe it or not?
I don't know. Maybe some people.
Okay, so
some people not.
What was your
this
goal?
Might be a good time to end the call. Well, thank you. We don't believe. We haven't been presented sufficient evidence. We appreciate your call, and good luck with your Gnosticism. Take care, man.
Thanks, Frank.
Bye.